All right, guys, let's knock out this review. Last one for seniors. Here we go. It says find the inverse of this one. Remember the pattern we do. You multiply the diagonals and you subtract. So we go 15 minus -4, which is 19. Flip it, 1/19. Put it in the front. It's there. And then change your first and fourth number. Change the signs in your second and third. And there you have it. Except you need to probably just should distribute that 1/19, make it 5/19, 1/19, -4/19, and 3/19. And there you have it. There's your inverse right there. Just remember that big gesture we did. That's the deal. Number 2, solve the system using, and you guys show your work here, using the matrix equation. So first of all, let's set the system up with the coefficients in one matrix, the variable in the next matrix, and then the constants in the other one. You can surely get that far. Then I'm going to find the inverse of this one, so I can multiply both sides by the inverse and move it over. So same steps I just did on the last one. I'm going to do what's called the determinant. I'm going to multiply, subtract. So I'm going to go -6 minus 3, which is -9. Flip it, which is -1/9. Put it in the front. Switch the first and fourth numbers. Change the signs on the second and third. And I'm going to multiply that by what's already over here. And that's going to give me my xy, which is what we did in class yesterday. Okay, so my advice here, you have to multiply those two matrices. Leave the 1/9 alone until the very end. So I'm going to go across, down. I'm going to cross this first row and down. -3 times 2 is -6. -3 times -10 is -30. I'm going to add those together and get -36, which I love because 9 goes in there. Then I'm going to do the second row. Across, down. -1 times 2 is -2. 2 times 10 is 20. Add those together, get 18. I love 18 because, you guessed it, 9 goes in there. So I'm multiplying that by -1/9. Really dividing -9 into those numbers gives me a 4 and a -2, which is my solution for -2. And you can plug that back in if you want to. Check it right there. I would tomorrow, just to make sure you got it. 3 through 8, all the matrix operations here. So number 3 is just straight up addition of matrix D plus matrix. I'm just going to work that out in my head really quick because there's going to take a lot of time on the addition. D plus A, you got, add the first numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 4 is 5, 1 plus 3 is 4, and that's all you do on that one. Number 4, make sure you got the right order. Make sure you're doing F minus E, so I'm doing F minus that one. 3 minus 1 is 2, 3 minus 3 is 0. -1 minus 2 is -3, and -1 minus 6 is -7. That's all you do on that one. Number 6 is -5 times E. So I'm only looking at E right here, and that -5 is a scalar. Multiply everything in that one by -5. So you get -5, -15, -10, -30. That's all you got to do on that one. The one that's going to take it the longest are going to be D and C down there. Sorry, 7 and 8 down here. I said D and C because I'm looking at D and C. That's what the question says. So it says D times C. I'm going to go ahead and write those down here. Matrix D is all 1s. That's going to make it actually very nice. Matrix C is also a bunch of 1s and -1s. So this one really shouldn't be too bad. So because I'm multiplying a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2, first of all, it's legal to do that. And I'm going to get a 2 by 2. So I'm going to come down here, make my 2 by 2. And I'm going to go across the first row, down the first column. If I do that, I get 1 plus 1. First row, second column, -1 plus 1. Second row, first column, 1 plus, bunch of 1s. Second row, last column, -1 plus 1. So my final answer right here, I'm getting 2, 0, 2, 0 for D times C. Hope that makes sense. I need to erase that so I can have room for number 8. Number 8 says A times B. Move this down a little bit. A and B. So matrix A is 1, 2, 4, 3. Matrix B is -3, 5. This is going to be a little tougher because they're not all 1s. Okay, so I actually have to think about this one a little bit. All right, here we go. So again, both 2 by 2s. So I'm going to get a 2 by 2. Go ahead and draw that. And I'm going to cross the first row, down the first column. So 1 times -3 is -3. 2 times 2 is 4. Same thing with second column, 1 times 5, 2 times -1. Now I'm using the second row, first column, 4 times -3 is -12, 3 times 2 is 6, and last row, last column, 4 times 5 is 20, 3 times -1 is -3. I'm talking through that. Hopefully you can kind of follow what I'm doing there. Did a bunch of these in class. 1, 3, -6, 17. So make sure you get that answer. If you're wondering, here's what I did. I went first thing I did the first row times the first column. Then I did the first row times the second column. Then I did the second row times the first column, and the second row times the second column. That's where those numbers come from right there. All right, last one of these, number 9, 3 times F. So I'm gonna write that first. If I do 3 times matrix F, it's gonna be 9, 9, -3, -3. That's a -3 right there. That's terrible. I'm gonna write that again. I'm sorry about that. It's making the video longer, but I want you to be able to read it. So 3 times F would be 9, 9, -3, -3. Just looking at that one right there. Minus 2 times C. So I'm gonna put the minus sign there, and I'm gonna do 2 times C. What is C? I see it. C is all those ones and -1. So it's gonna be 2, -2, -2, 2. Then I'm just gonna subtract straight across. 9 minus 2, 9 minus -2, -3 minus -2, and -3 minus 2. And there's your final answer. So a bunch of matrix stuff right there. Number 10, solve by elimination. You must show work again. So you can eliminate, you can make either the x's or the y's go away. I'm going to go with the y's because this is a lot easier. I'm gonna multiply the top row by 5 because that's gonna give me a positive 15y. So I'm gonna get 10x plus 15y equals 75. My second row is 20x minus 15y is 15. And when I work that out, those are gone. It gives me 30x over here and 90 over there. If I divide by 30, that's 3. I'm going to take that 3 and plug it up on the top one because that's the quickest one. It's the smallest numbers. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3y is 15. Move the 6 over. Going to get 9. Divide by 3. You also get 3, so the answer, 3, 3. See what we got here. Number 11, log equation. Only one log. Don't forget how to do a log. You take that 3 right there, raise it to that power, and it equals that. So I'm going to say 7 plus 2x equals 3 cubed. Move that over this way. 7 plus 2x, 3 cubed, by the way, is 27. So let's move that 7 over and get 20. Divide by 2. And there you have it. X is 10. You need to check it. Make sure to make the log negative, and it doesn't. Number 12, use a change of base form to find log base 7 of 72. All you do is you do log 72 over log 7. Remember, the big number goes on top. The base always goes on the bottom. The base always goes on the bottom. Just punch in your calculator. I'm getting 2.1978. Remember, we'll go 4 decimal places on that one. 1978, that was a great year. Number 13. 13 is exponential growth because that 3 right here is bigger than 1. Usually the asymptote is the x-axis, but because it's got a minus 2 at the end, it's been shifted down 2, so I'm going to go down 2 for the asymptote. Remember, our first point's always 1 above. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to go 1 to the right of that point. That point is at the 0, so that means I'm going to plug in 1 for my exponent. That gives me 3 to the first power, which is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1, so I plugged in 1, and I got 1, so that's my second point. Just connect your dots, la, la, la. And there's your graph. 14, done this one a bunch of times. Don't forget this, you'll get a point off when I'm doing this. This is find a polynomial function. So you need to put p of x, f of x, whatever of x you want, but make sure you write it as a function. Okay, it says of degree 6, that's a bunch of x's, with -2 as a 0 with multiplicity 3. So I'm going to go -2 would be x plus 2. Multiplicity 3 means x minus 3. 0 is a multiplicity 2, that's just the x squared. And 3 is a 0 multiplicity 1. 3 will come from x minus 3, the exponent will be 1, don't have to write that. You're fine, just leave it like that. And the last one, finally, determine a domain. You can't do the domain unless you know what makes the bottom 0. So I'm going to factor that denominator, make it x plus 2, x minus 2, because it's the difference of squares right there. And because that means there's 2 things that make my denominator 0. 2 and -2, so I'm going to write it this way. All x, such that x cannot equal either +2 or -2. And that's it. Hope that helps, guys. Seniors, I can't believe it's your last one. I'm going to miss you guys like crazy. Hope you come back and visit. I like all those things. We'll talk about that probably. Anyway, hope it helps. See you tomorrow.